Sure. Can we have the videos on everyone, please? Amit, Dipali.
My video is on. Sakshi, can you see me?
Yes, Amit, I can see you. Just checking if Dipali is here and Dr. Saha would be joining a bit late. So,
Yeah, Tipali, we yet to join. We'll ask them to join soon. But you can proceed, Sakshi.
sure. Anand, are we live?
Yes, we are live.
Sure. Hi everyone. A very, very good evening to all of you present over here. And the reason why we all have gathered here in this virtual meeting is we're going to decode a very, very interesting challenge that you all would have heard about from various channels via CBSE notice or, via some communications in social media. So today we are going to talk about the AWS Young Builders Challenge. That is one of the most exciting things that I can see in the air for our school principals, school teachers, and school students. So, 2 days back, one of my nephew called me up to, to dig more details about this challenge. And I see a lot of school students building interesting projects on code.org. And today we have a panel of esteemed people from different organizations, AWS, CBSE, and Atal Innovation Mission to decode this challenge with us. So without further ado, let me introduce the panelists today. We have Mr. Amit Nevatia, the Education to Workforce Lead for India and South Asia, Amazon Web Services India. We have Dr. Biswajit Saha, Director, Skills Education and Training, CBSE. And we have Dipali Upadhyay, Program Director, Atal Tinkering Labs, AIM Niti Aayog, with us today to decode this challenge. And without further ado, let me invite Mr. Amit to decode the challenge, talk about the eligibility you need to know, and followed by other details that he would like to share with the potential audience that we have today with us. Amit, over to you.
Thank you, Sakshi, and good evening, everyone. Thank you for taking time out and joining this session. We're really excited to be here today with all of you to share some details about this exciting challenge that Sakshi talked about, the AWS Young Builders Challenge. Thanks also to Dipali from AIM and Dr. Saha from CBSC for sparing time to join us today on this session. So let me take some time and basically, as the topic mentions, decode what this AWS Young Builders Challenge is. So this challenge is basically an effort towards inclusion on access to opportunity and resources for inculcating scientific temper, design thinking, problem solving, and computational thinking in young minds. We all know that these are some of the things that today are required by students all across the world, right? And whatever we have seen in the last few years, especially during these COVID times, that it's not just about the subjects that the students need to master. It's also about various other cognitive skills like problem solving and computational thinking, which are required. And with the new education policy announced by the government in July 2020, there is a lot of emphasis on these aspects where we are talking about the new generation to be, the future of India in terms of really building those or using those emerging technologies to be able to be successful, right? So, problem solving, design thinking, computational thinking are all part of these kind of skills which are inbuilt and ingrained into the new education policy. So this AWS Young Builders Challenge primarily gives the students the opportunity and the access to the latest technologies that are going to be there, affecting their lives in the future, play with it, and also at the same time pick up the learnings on what, for example, is AI, artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is something which everyone hears across the board, people talking about it. But then, what does it really mean? how does it look like when people talk about AI from in the healthcare, in the education space, or even in other industry segments. So what is this AI? So we're trying to decode that, what artificial intelligence is for our students, bring them into the STEM education, encourage them to take computer science as one of the areas that they should look at. And it also lays the early foundation to develop these competencies on these futuristic technologies. So this challenge, we encourage students from class 6 to 12th. All students, it's open to all students from all the schools across the country to participate. It's very exciting. It's very easy to participate in this challenge. And all you need to do is have that creative bent of mind, and to be able to have that curiosity to learn, to be able to participate in this challenge. So the students basically have to come up with projects which are on the theme of the event, which is the future of how will AI change the future of India. So it's a very thematic kind of an idea that we want students to be creative about, and then build projects using the code.org's applications, which is the App Lab and the Sprite Lab. So these are tools which code.org provides, help students, basically put some method to the madness in terms of their creativity, right? So they can use either an App Lab tool or the Sprite Lab tool as per their convenience, which are basically block coding kind of apps, help students to put the structure to their design, and then submit that project along with a 200-word description to the school teachers. And then the school teachers would collect all the projects from the students across their school. The teachers will then have to do the evaluation basis some evaluation metrics that the teachers will get as soon as they register on this challenge. So the teachers will have to register on our website, which is awsybc2021.in. Register the school, get the details. We also are providing a lot of learning material for students on our event site, so the students can go through those content. What is AI? What is computer science? What is cloud? What are the emerging technologies? How do you use Sprite Lab? How do you use App Lab? Right? Take that learning, build that project, submit it to their teachers. The teachers then evaluate it basis the details that we share with the teachers, and upload those projects on the event site by also marking the top two projects that they think they have got as per the evaluation that they have done from their school. So we're looking at a very encouraging and a very high number of schools which are participating already, and we encourage all the people here to basically encourage your students to create those projects, think very very creatively, and submit their projects by the timelines. I will also like to take this opportunity to announce that we had initially said 5th of November is the submission date, but with the kind of feedback and response we've got, we were extending that date now. So we are extending it to 15th November. So you have some more time for the students to be creative and go through the learning content as well as create the projects, and the teachers to evaluate it and submit it by the 15th of November. So you have time now. We request all of you to encourage as many students as possible. It is an all-inclusive, participative kind of an event. It's not something that we are saying it is restricted to only students who know coding or who know computer science. It's open for all. It's more about developing the aspects of computational thinking and problem solving. So that's what I would say to decode. We will take question answers later in this session. But once again, thanks to all of you for joining today's session, and thanks to CBSE and Atal Mission. We also have the blessings of the Innovation Cell of the Ministry of Education for this event. So thanks to them also for being supportive. And we look forward to all of you to really enjoy participating in this challenge, and encourage your students to enjoy while they are making their projects. Thanks. Back to you, Sakshi.
Thank you so much, Amit, for highlighting the importance and decoding the AWS Young Builders Challenge for our audience. I can see we have approximate 1,000 educators joined from different parts of the country in this virtual call today with us, and that is the power of technology, and that is how technology is bringing, is bringing everyone close in this virtual world in this pandemic era, and as you were talking about national education policy, coding skill, skills like coding, artificial intelligence have also been called out as the 21st century skills. And as people in the education industry, as educators, it is our responsibility to inculcate these skills like coding, computational thinking, design thinking into into the students who are actually the future of the country. So we will definitely be taking up the questions at the end. And again, as Amit mentioned, I would like to highlight that we've extended the time, we've extended the last date to submit the projects as 15th of November. So based on the feedback received, we're giving more time to the students to put in their creative hats and build projects using the using the theme that we have, that how will AI change the future of the country. You can use either App Lab or Sprite Lab on code.org and build creative projects. The teachers would be evaluating these projects based upon the rubrics that we've shared with them. They'll be submitting these projects. All the students who create the project and the teacher submits on the microsite would be receiving a participation certificate from our end, and the top two projects would then qualify for a national showcase ceremony that we'll have later in the November. So moving forward, I would now invite Dipali Upadhyay, who is the program director for Atal Tinkering Labs, Atal Innovation Mission Niti Aayog, to talk about how is AI changing the future, and what is the relevance of a competition like YBC in today's era. Over to you, Dipali, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Sakshi, and thank you, Amit, and the entire AWS team, as well as CBSE, Ministry of Education. We've all come together. This is really a landmark competition, if I may call it, where for the first time, all of us have come together. It clearly indicates the importance of AI as a subject. That in itself, I think, is a mark of, signifying how important this is for the national education, for students of the country. Artificial intelligence, needless to say that it's all around us, and children these days are exposed to such a large extent to technology, and a lot of instances where they encounter artificial intelligence. They may not be aware that they are encountering it, but it's all around us. And hence, there are immense possibilities. Even though they see it all around them, there is still a lot of scope that needs to be worked on, explored, developed. And who better than the students and young innovators, because they have a long journey ahead. And since this is what the future holds, it's the right time to inculcate these skills in them. And with Atal Innovation Mission, which is a flagship initiative of the Government of India, Niti Aayog, the entire mission and objective has been on promoting future skills, 21st century skills across students in the country. And for that, Atal Innovation Mission has set up these tinkering labs across the country. We're more than 9,000 labs now as of today. But having said that, makerspaces or labs are a part of that entire journey. Atal Innovation Mission tries to inculcate these skills and provide multiple opportunities where students get a chance to explore these technologies in a very hands-on manner. So, for example, last year, we came up with a module on artificial intelligence, and it was very well timed along with the national education policy, which also emphasizes the need for 21st century skills, and AI being one of those important themes. And it is, clearly being implemented in so many ways with the initiatives that are being taken by Niti Aayog with its module. with the initiatives that are taken by CBSE in collaboration with Intel, the AI for All concept as such. Niti Aayog also also published last year the National Strategy for Artificial Intelligence, which also emphasizes the need for a holistic ecosystem and a trusted ecosystem to be able to inculcate and have higher adoption of artificial intelligence. Now, I see us and all educational institutions and even the corporate partners and industry partners who come together as playing a very instrumental role in that, because it is for us and our responsibility to be able to deliver that from a skills perspective, and to be able to show that future perspective to the younger generation. And for that, competitions like these and opportunities like these, which are not just opportunities to learn, but they're opportunities to learn by doing or creating something, which is all what tinkering is about, and what the entire concept around tinkering labs is, that you learn through experience, experiential learning. You learn through making something. And when we have competitions like these, we encourage students to look at community problems, or things which are relevant for them around them, and how AI, artificial intelligence, or how various technologies can actually help solve those problems while you're creating something or innovating something. So, what comes out of this is not just, you as students, you wouldn't have just created an innovation or a project or won a prize, or if not a prize, also your participation itself would be a great thing. But eventually, the fact that you would have contributed towards a national movement, which is the AI movement, and it's a global movement, if I may call it so, because future holds that, and you're in a way working towards making India amongst the top innovative nations of the world. We're already in top 50. The goal of being in top 10 will only be realized if these young innovators, and with these opportunities and these initiatives that we take together as an ecosystem, only with that will students be able to emerge as future leaders and contributors towards being global as well as national innovators. And I see AI as a very important aspect of that. There's a lot of research going on currently in AI, and going forward, there will be a lot of opportunities and jobs, and there will be a lot of skills requirement in this industry. And if we are able to expose children at the right stage to these concepts and technologies, I don't think it will be, it will come naturally to them, because this is children as such are very creative, and AI, of course, apart from the fact that you learn a skill, it also enhances a lot of other skills, like problem solving, creativity, and competitions like these. They don't just encourage, or you don't just learn basic skills such as AI or 21st century skills. But apart from AI and machine learning and various other concepts, you actually learn teamwork. You actually learn how do you solve a problem? How do you work with data? Which are some of the key things that current and future holds for us. So my 2 cents here would be that this would be a great opportunity for all students to participate. It is a great opportunity for you to learn something new. It is a great opportunity for you to be able to make that contribution towards a global and a national agenda and perspective. And with us doing our bit as Atal Innovation Mission, Niti Aayog, and with all the players that have come together, I want to congratulate AWS, I want to congratulate CBSE and MOE's Innovation Cell for having come together for such an important initiative, which will eventually help us as a nation in becoming the top innovative nations of the world. Thank you so much, and all the best to all students. And we look forward to your interesting and innovations, as well as your learning. We hope to receive your feedback that this was enjoyable for you, for us to come up with more such initiatives together. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dipali ma'am, for sharing your wise words on, AI-based innovations and how is the future changing in this AI revolution. that the entire world, I would say, is currently going on. So I have shared the registration link with all of the participants in the chat just now. And for those who haven't registered for this very interesting challenge that we're talking about, I would request a central point of contact from each institute to register. Um, to register. Now, moving forward, I would like to call upon Dr. Biswajit Saha, Director, Skill Education and Training from CBSE, to talk about the shaping of the next generation and the focus of CBSE vision and why challenges like AWS Young Builders Challenge are critical in shaping this next generation of builders that we have in the country. Dr. Saha, over to you.
See, I think I'm audible.
Yes, sir, you were audible.
Yeah. Because I'm facing some poor network issue. Anyway, so I think Dipali spoke well, and all the partner institutes like Ministry of Education Innovation Cell, Atal Innovation Mission, my colleague from CBSE, and of course AWS, and all the team members who are present here as a panelist, as well as those who have joined us virtually. And of course, the faculty members, principal, and various other stakeholders who have joined us virtually. It is really a prime moment when industry, academic institutes, and delivery and rather conceptualize this kind of collaborative efforts when we are in that light. I think how a joint projects or individual projects, student when they are very much in the school ecosystems, even really accelerate this kind of ideas to prototype. And that is the main reasons of bringing this AWS challenge or similarly situated multiple events as we are organizing jointly, so that children these days can experiment their it works, it's and their idea, and also a innovative like us or industry leader can think through, yes, their innovative solutions in the future. So of course the environment, climate change, and all those crucial issues in many forums we discuss. At the same times, in every activities, I think how you can integrate this SDG issue, that is also quite important. So my humble request to the coaches, those who are essentially going to involve, and also the faculty who even these ATL in charge who are essentially driving this mission of participation, they must look into this perspective so that student besides the technology orientation and bringing a solutions with the help of technology, they must add the science of human questions. How to request all the school leader and all the teachers, those who are associated today virtually, and maybe later on you can also look how more questions from your school. Best of the best come you the teachers to choose along so in that unbiased way you can choose the best of the best projects, and ultimately our industry leader can recognize student as well as schools for to become a future leader. So with this note, let me pause and only request you should not, and rather we should not miss this exciting opportunity, and more such event, more such innovative programs we are going to bring, and I think in a sustainable manner these partnerships also we will continue. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Saha, for your wise words, and I totally echo with the fact that neither the schools, neither the central point of contacts, which are the teachers from these respective schools, and the students should miss this exciting opportunity. Uh, should miss this exciting opportunity on AWS Young Builders Challenge. We've already shared the registration link with the participants attending the session today on the chat. And to add to more excitement, I would now request Mr. Amit to share some of the exciting prizes that we have for the schools who would be participating in this challenge. Amit, over to you.
Thanks, Sakshi. And yes, thank you, Dr. Saha. Thank you, Dipali, for those encouraging words. What I would like to do is basically to add to that excitement about the challenge for the students is also share some of the details of the recognitions and rewards that the schools and the participating students would get. So, amongst all the schools that are going to submit their projects, we're going to have the announcement of the top 10 schools which qualify basis the evaluations done after the submissions by the teachers. So once those teachers submit the projects of the schools, they identify the top two, and from that list of all the top two projects submitted by the schools across the country on this challenge, we will do our own evaluation through an external jury, and basis that we will announce the top 10 schools. These top 10 schools will get an opportunity to get a direct entry into the finales of the Junior Smart India Hackathon, which will propose to be held by the Ministry of Education Innovation Cell in the month of April 2022. So by qualifying, by becoming the top 10 schools in this Young Builders Challenge, they get automatic entry into the Junior Smart India Hackathon conducted by the Ministry of Education's Innovation Cell. Apart from that, these top 10 schools also get a virtual AI ML lab for 1 year. So the schools will get access to continue this process of having their children or their students exposed to AI through practical or hands-on work through the AIML lab, which is going to be installed or put across in the schools. These are virtual labs, and the students will have access to services of AWS where they can play around and build more projects, and the school can actually extend this facility to students in the entire school and not just to the students who have participated in this challenge. So they can actually broaden their base, encouraging more students in their schools to participate and learn about what AIML is with the hands-on experience and practical knowledge that they can get through the labs. They also, top 10 schools also get Amazon vouchers worth 30,000 rupees, and they get trophies and the school for schools and the students, and all the participating students get a certificate of participation when they are submitting their projects. Apart from these 10 schools, we also be recognizing the top 100 schools based on the final evaluation that we do. So these 100 schools will be getting, apart from the participation certificate, will they be getting Amazon vouchers worth 5,000 rupees. Apart from that, we also have certain, 2 categories which are quite interesting, wherein we will be publishing a leader dashboard on the event site. So the top schools which maximum number of student participation will be given Amazon vouchers worth 10,000 rupees. So we want to encourage more and more students from each school to participate in this challenge. And the top 3 schools with maximum number of students participating and submitting projects will get Amazon vouchers worth 10,000 rupees. Sakshi talked about the final showcase event that we will have, where we will have the top 10 projects being showcased to academicians and stakeholders from across the country, and they can actually project and explain what they have made as the submission of this project. And we will take some public voting on those projects. So the 3 public favorites will also be getting awards in terms of a plaque, which is basically a recognition that the people, the parents, the public at large who have gone through those projects have voted them amongst their favorite projects. So these are the 4 categories of awards apart from each and every student and teacher getting a certificate of participation when they register for this and submit projects at the end of the submission date, which is 15th of November. Thank you. Sakshi, back to you.
Thank you so much, Amit. I see a lot of enthusiasm, especially after you have shared about these. Now is the time for Q&A. I would request all of the participants their questions in the chat window, and I will be calling out loud some of the interesting questions or some of the frequently seen questions in the chat. So all the doubts that you have, please shoot, and we'll try to answer maximum questions for you all. Okay. So I see a lot of questions around the type of projects that would need to be built. Can we use Python? Can we use Arduino? Can we use any other tool? So Amit, can you clarify upon what type of projects are required to be built? Can you give some example on, what are we seeking when we talk about the thematic intervention of AI while building the projects in code.org? Can you just walk us through that process of building the projects?
Yeah, sure. Thanks. So yes, so when we talk about these projects, as I mentioned earlier, there is a learn section on our event site, so the students can go through the videos, of content on what is AI, which has been contributed by Atal Mission. There are also some videos on what is cloud, and then there are two specific videos on how to use the Sprite Lab or the app on code.org. So what we expect the students to do is to basically go through that content and use the theme, which is how will AI change the future of India, as a thematic intervention or, or an idea on which they need to conceptualize a project. They can then build these projects using the App Lab or the Sprite Lab on code.org. Once they build that project, these are basically kind of block coding and Java based coding platform, code.org. So you can build your project there. The moment you finish making that project, it provides you with a link. You need to submit that link to your teacher along with a 200-word description on what is the idea of your project. So it could be if there are, I saw some questions saying that, do we need to go through the content again on code.org if you're already using it? If you're already using code.org, if you're already using Sprite Lab or App Lab, you're most welcome. Go ahead and just start. There is no compulsion of going through the learning material. We have provided that as an additional feature, saying that if there are students who want to participate and have no coding background, have no computer science background, can actually go through this content, pick up that knowledge, and then participate. It's supposed to be an event where we are encouraging students and giving them an opportunity to the resources to pick up this learning and be creative to think what kind of thoughts they have. On there are also questions like what kind of projects can we talk about student submit. So it's, as I mentioned, it's a thematic intervention, right? So it's not that you need to actually create a prototype or you need to actually provide a full-fledged solution. It's thematic in nature. So how can AI be used in various aspects of our life, right? Whether it is in education, whether it is in agriculture, whether it is in citizen services, anything, right? It could also be, for example, I'm taking a very aggressive example here, saying that, okay, if there is a war which needs to be fought between two countries, can it be fought by through use of artificial like robots, for example? There's no human intervention required. So those are the kind of ideas that we want students to think about in terms of all intelligence. Better, I would say, application for government to citizen services, agriculture, education, banking, finance, gaming. There's so many aspects where AI can be used. So please, we encourage students to feel free, be absolutely unconstrained in their thinking, and go out and submit their thoughts and what they want to build.
Right. Thank you so much, Amit, for adding the clarity on what type of projects can be built. So, as Amit has rightly mentioned, that we can only use App Lab and Sprite Lab on code.org while creating these projects, which means that there is no requirement of the students to know machine learning, React Native, Java, Python, or any of these languages. So, Amit, moving to another question very prominent on the chat that is there any participation fee for the school or for the school or the CPOC who's registering or the student who's submitting their projects?
Yeah, so there is no fee. It's absolutely free for schools, teachers, and students. Uh, that's the reason why we are saying that this is a challenge that we are saying it's participative, it's inclusive. So there is no fee for anyone or any school to join and make the students participate in this challenge.
Thank you so much. I'm also seeing a lot of questions around the eligibility. By that, for schools, what is the eligibility criteria, and for the participating students, what is the eligibility criteria that we have in hand?
Yeah, I would actually like to say there is no eligibility criteria, but yeah, for the sake of the fact that it is an event, we need to have some kind of a boundary set. So all schools in India can participate, and also, whether it's CBSE, it is government schools, every school can participate in this challenge. The students from class 6 to 12th, it is open for all students in class from class 6 to 12th, irrespective of their stream. So, whether it's a commerce student or a art student or a science student, it's open for all. So, that's the only eligibility criteria that I would say, that you need to be a school and you need to have students from class 6 to 12. Those are the only two kind of eligibility criteria, if I have to call them as eligibility criteria.
Thank you so much, Amit. So I think, with the interest of
Yeah,
time, we'll
just
just take one
Sorry, I
last
want to take
question.
another question here.
let
What about
me
schools
add
in
one more
UAE?
point here. Hello.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
In fact, all CBSE schools abroad, we have a good number of schools out of India. So their students are also, in fact, eligible to apply in this.
Yes. Yes. So I
So
was actually going to answer that, sir, because I
yeah,
immediately saw a lot of questions around, so what about CBSE schools in UAE? So yes, all CBSE schools across the country are able to participate.
Um, Thank you so much, Amit and Dr. Saha, for adding the clarity. So one last question around the role of the CPOC. Amit, can you just walk us through, walk us through the responsibilities that, first of all, what does the CPOC stands for, and what do we expect the CPOC to do through the course of this event?
Yeah. So a CPOC is just a term that we are using, which is basically a central point of contact. So for the purpose of any communication with the school for this challenge, we want the nominate one teacher who's going to be the point of contact for us for all communication. So that's what the central point of contact is. So it could be the teacher, it could be the vice principal, it could be the headmistress, whoever is actually ready to take up the responsibility of communicating and channelizing this amongst the school. So that's the central point of contact, and the responsibilities of the CPOC is basically, or the teacher is, that you need to register your school on our event site. The registration is very simple. Just provide the email ID of yourself, principal's email ID, your school's name, and a few other details about which state your school is from and all those things, and your registration is done. Once you have registered, you will get a verification email just to verify that your email is correct and we are able to send our communication to you on the right email address. Once that is complete, you will get a set of instructions in terms of how can you, what kind of email do you send out, or what kind of communication do you send out to your students. So you can actually use that template to have a kind of a broadcast amongst all the students in your schools and informing them about this challenge, asking them to go to the site and do the learn, consume the content of AI or cloud or anything that they want on our learn section of the website. Once the students start building their projects, the teacher can actually go to code.org, create their own account. The step by details are provided through the emails that we communicate with, so they can actually go to code.org, create a section wherein they can add the students to that section, which will facilitate the students to actually access the app lab and the sprite lab. It also gives the teacher the facility to look at which student is doing what. They can actually guide the students and further enhance their projects. So the teacher can do that. It's optional. We are not saying it is mandatory. We are saying it's optional. But yes, we will provide you with a step-by-step guide on how to create that section on code.org so that you can facilitate your students and also keep helping them, hand-holding them during the process of their project building. Once that is done, the students will submit their project links and their 200-word description to the teacher. The teacher will evaluate those submissions basis a rubrics or a metrics that we will be sharing with the teacher. It's very simple. We've kept it very simple. The teacher just has to evaluate those projects basis some 4 or 5 criteria, rank them, and submit those projects to the event site in the submissions tab, and ensure that the teacher marks the top 2 from that school amongst all the projects that they're submitting. So you can actually put it in an Excel and just upload the Excel and say, okay, the top 2 are the first 2 projects and the balance are the students who have submitted the other projects. Just upload that Excel sheet in the submissions tab on the event site, and that's about it.
Right. Thank you so much, Amit, for answering all of the questions. I hope you now have clarity on what needs to be done. What is how does the registration process looks like? We have a lot of resources available in terms of step-by-step program handbooks, program videos, learning resources, submission criteria, and everything on our event site. Event site link has been shared multiple times in the chat, but I will just put it once again for the participants that have joined late. So the event site is there in the chat window right now. I've just sent it. Before I close, I would request to hear some final words from Dipali. Dipali, ma'am, can you please share some final and closing words for the audience that we have today with us?
Sure, and I would close by saying that I'm excited to have your innovations. I hope you're also excited to participate in this challenge. Like I said, it's a great platform and opportunity. The theme itself is such a great one, that how can AI change the future, and you are playing a part in it. You never know where your innovation leads you. This could be a starting point for you in becoming a global leader yourself. So please do participate in this challenge. It's for the first time, Atal Innovation Mission in collaboration has a challenge which is open for all. So it's not just for ATL schools, but for all schools, like it was mentioned. And there are exciting prizes. So please go ahead and do this. It's a great learning opportunity as well, because you learn while you create something, and it's the best way to learn. So all the best to all the students and to the mentors, parents, and teachers for encouraging students to participate, for mentoring and supporting them in this challenge. We as a team are here for you for your queries, questions, and if you would like to give us any feedback on this. Thank you so much. And thank you to AWS for initiating this and for such a great initiative, so timely and so relevant for us right now and for students. So thank you so much, and thank you to everyone who's come together to support this, CBSE, MOE, and all the schools. Thank you so much.
Sure. Thank you so much, Dipali ma'am, for your support throughout and for taking out time to encourage some of the participants that we have with us today. Amit sir, any final words from your side to our esteemed audience?
Yes, thanks, Sakshi. I would just like to also, basis the kind of questions that we are getting. If you can also put in the support alias or the email ID. So if any of these people have any questions post this event, they can actually write to us, and we will respond to their queries. So, Sakshi, if you can just put that email ID on the chat so that people can write to us if they have any queries, right? Uh, as far as closing comments, think it's not the closing, it's actually the beginning. And thanks to CBSE, thanks to Atal Mission, thanks to MOE Innovation Cell that we have been able to put this together. Uh, it's very encouraging for us in sitting in industry to see the kind of excitement, the kind of collaboration, and the kind of positive attitude that we get from Atal Mission or from CBSE to be able to conduct such events. It's really helpful, it's really great, and it's really encouraging for us. And basis the participation that we are seeing on this, we have already got more than 1,500 schools which are participating, and we hope that post this session today we will have more and more schools participating. So it's really encouraging for us. It gives us the satisfaction that we are being able to make that change, that make that impact, and contribute back to helping the students of this country and students at large to become more efficient and better citizens going forward, and use those technologies that are with us today. We have access to it. How can we actually democratize the access of technology and resources for everyone to use in the best possible manner? So thank you everyone for joining the session. Thank you for to all the schools who are participating and sparing their time. And we really look forward to a great event and some really great projects which we can see. I am 100% sure that the students are going to come up with very, very creative projects.
Absolutely, Amit. Even I'm really, really excited to see how this challenge unfolds. And as you said, this is definitely not the closing, this is the beginning. So we're excited to see what the students and teachers have forward for us. Moving forward, we also have RP Singh sir from CBSE who has joined us. So, sir, we would request you to share some wise words with the students and some encouraging words for the teachers who are there with us from the entire country today joining in this session.
Thank you, Sakshi. Thank you, Amit ji. Thank you, Deepali, for helping us in this program. And this is a very interesting program and a very good opportunity for the students and the right platform. And I would say at the right point of time, because CBSE has AI as a subject, and last year only, CBSE has introduced coding and data science, also one of the subjects from classes 6 to 12. So the students and the teachers, it's a very good opportunity to take it up. Hand holding will be done at every point of time. We are there to help you out. It's just that the teachers have to get on this journey with the students. And once we have them on board, we have a proper mentoring for them planned. So all the best to the organizers, and we hope to see teachers and students in large numbers participating in this program. Thank you so much. Back to you, Sakshi.
Just want to thank you, RP sir. Thank you for sparing your time. I know you guys are traveling, you have a very busy schedule. So thank you for sparing time and coming and encouraging the participants.
Thank you, Amitji. I was there
Absolutely,
and
that
pretty
definitely.
much motivated by what you had shared during the program.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, RP sir, for spending your time and motivating all of us, including the teachers, and including including definitely. So thanks all once again. Thanks Amit. Thanks RP sir. Thanks Dipali ma'am for joining us in this session today. And thanks to all the teachers who've shown interest for investing in the future of the country. And we're excited to see what projects the students come up with in this challenge. We have everything on our microsite. So please register and write down to us at support@awsybc2021.in in case you have any further queries that we can answer for you. Thanks all. Have a very, very good evening and a good day ahead. Signing off for now. This is Sakshi from AWS Workforce Team India. Thanks, everyone. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.